The Untapped Goldmine, a comprehensive guide to snail farming in Nigeria. In Nigeria's dynamic and rapidly evolving agricultural space, few sectors promise as much untapped potential with minimal risk as snail farming. Long overlooked and misunderstood, heliciculture, the practice of snail farming, is now emerging as a highly profitable and sustainable agribusiness, particularly for small and medium-scale enterprises, SMEs, seeking low-barrier entry into agribusiness. Whether you're a young entrepreneur, a retiree, or a full-time farmer looking to diversify your income stream, this series will walk you through everything you need to know about snail farming in Nigeria, its history, modern farming practices, market opportunities, and how to set up a profitable snail farm. Series Introduction. It's Wednesday, the 6th of August, 2025. Welcome to the 127th edition of the Aureus series. In this video, we do a deep dive into snail farming in Nigeria. A contemporary guide for SME success and export potential. Before we get started, we would like to take a moment to welcome you to this channel. If you are visiting us for the first time, please subscribe, smash the like button, share this video and help us grow our family. If you have already subscribed, then show your support by liking the video and making a comment. Now let's jump right back in. From forest to farm, the rise of snail cultivation in Nigeria. For generations, snails were harvested in the wild, particularly during the rainy season when they emerged in abundance. Traditionally considered a delicacy in southern Nigeria, snails were either collected for home consumption or sold in local markets by rural women. However, overharvesting, urbanization, and deforestation led to dwindling populations, making wild snails increasingly scarce. Today, with the rise in health consciousness, urban food demand, and the need for alternative sources of income, snail farming is transitioning from a seasonal rural activity to a structured, profitable agro-enterprise. Across Nigeria, especially in the southwest, southeast, and south-south, more people are cultivating snails under controlled conditions and tapping into a growing market, both locally and abroad. Modern snail farming, how it works today. Gone are the days when snail farming meant throwing a few snails behind your house and waiting for them to multiply. Modern heliciculture involves a strategic combination of biology, environmental management, and agribusiness acumen. There are three major systems of snail farming practiced in Nigeria today. Extensive, traditional, system. Snails are reared in a natural, open environment, typically gardens or bushes. This method is inexpensive but highly unreliable due to weather exposure, predators, and low control over breeding.
Semi-intensive system. A more structured approach using pens or fence plots with moderate control over feeding and moisture. Suitable for SMEs looking to scale gradually while minimizing cost. Intensive system. High-control farming using hutch boxes, greenhouses, and concrete pens. Ideal for urban farmers or commercial producers who want year-round production and predictable output. Regardless of the system used, a successful snail farm requires attention to detail, controlled humidity, soil quality, biosecurity, and proper feeding. Ideal conditions for successful snail farming. To maximize productivity and reduce snail mortality, understanding and controlling environmental conditions is key. Here's what snails need to thrive. Weather and temperature. Snails are cold-blooded and highly sensitive to their environment. Ideal temperatures range from 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, with high humidity levels between 75% and 95%. They become inactive during dry, hot conditions, making moisture management critical. Soil quality. Soil isn't just where snails live, it's part of their biology. They derive calcium from soil for shell development and use it for laying eggs. Best soil type. Loose, loamy soil with rich organic matter. pH level. Neutral to slightly acidic, 6.0 to 7.5. Avoid sandy or clay-heavy soils and any site contaminated with pesticides. Moisture management. Moisture plays a pivotal role in snail activity, feeding, and breeding. Farmers often use water sprinklers, shade nets, or banana leaves to retain humidity and prevent dehydration, especially during the dry season. How much land and space do you need? One of snail farming's biggest advantages is that it doesn't require large land areas to be profitable. A 100 square meter plot can accommodate over 1,000 snails, and even smaller setups, like hutch boxes or stacked pens, can work well in urban or peri-urban areas. For SMEs, starting with 50 to 100 breeders is practical and cost-effective. With proper management, these snails can produce thousands of offspring in a single reproductive cycle. Where to get quality breeders, young snails. Success in snail farming begins with the right breed. The two most widely recommended species for commercial farming in Nigeria are Achatina achatina, giant Ghana snail, Archachatina marginata, commonly found in southern Nigeria. Both species are fast-growing, highly fertile, and fetch premium prices in the market. Reliable sources of young snails include agricultural research institutions, e.g., IITA in Ibadan, Nihort, certified local snail farms and cooperatives, online agro-marketplaces. Verify authenticity and health status of the snails before purchase. Avoid wild snails as they may carry diseases and adapt poorly to domesticated conditions.
Where snail farming thrives best in Nigeria. Snail farming performs exceptionally well in Nigeria's humid, tropical zones. The best states for snail production include Southwest, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo. Southeast, Imo, Abia, Enugu, Anambra. South-South, Cross River, Rivers, Akwa Ibom. Middle Belt, Benue, Kogi, with proper shade and moisture control. These regions offer high humidity, rainfall, and natural vegetation, perfect for snail breeding and growth. Understanding the market, domestic and export opportunities. Domestic demand. The local market for snails is strong and growing. Demand cuts across households and supermarkets, restaurants and hotels, traditional ceremonies and events. Snail meat is considered premium protein, valued for being low in fat and rich in iron, calcium, and magnesium. With increasing health awareness, demand is expected to grow steadily. Export potential. Snails are a delicacy in Europe and parts of North America, especially among African diaspora communities. Countries such as France, Spain, Italy, Canada, and the UK import large quantities of frozen or processed snails. To tap into the export market, Nigerian snail farmers must meet strict health, quality, and packaging standards. Key requirements include NEPC registration and export license, cold chain processing infrastructure, HACCP/ISO certification for food safety, reliable supply chains and product traceability. Forward-looking SMEs can partner with aggregators, processors, or export consortia to meet these conditions. How to start a successful SME snail farming business. Starting a snail farm doesn't require millions, but it does require planning and consistency. Here are some essential steps. Get training. Before investing, attend a practical training or internship at a reputable snail farm. Learn about species selection, pen design, feed formulation, and breeding cycles. Start small. Use your first cycle to learn and optimize. Start with 100 to 200 snails and scale up as you build experience and secure markets. Secure funding. Leverage accessible funding options like Bank of Agriculture, BOA, loans. CBN's AGSMEIS Fund. Nursel Microfinance Bank. Build a brand. Focus on clean packaging, quality assurance, and visible branding. Explore digital marketing channels and delivery logistics for urban markets. Join networks. Connect with the Snail Farmers Association of Nigeria, SFAN, and similar cooperatives to gain access to bulk buyers, shared resources, and policy updates. Is snail farming profitable? A quick look at the numbers. Let's assume you start with a semi-intensive snail farm with 1,000 snails. Disclaimer: the below figures are guesstimates for general information purposes only. Prospective snail farmers must conduct their own feasibility studies and due diligence. Estimated setup cost. Item. Cost, Nigerian naira. Housing and pens. 300,000. Breeding stock, 1,000 snails. 150,000. Feeding and maintenance. 100,000. Labor and overhead. 100,000. Miscellaneous. 50,000. Total. 700,000 Nigerian nairas.
Expected returns year 1. With optimal care, you can harvest 800 to 1,000 marketable snails. At an average retail price of 600 Nigerian nairas per snail, revenue is 480,000 to 600,000 Nigerian nairas. Profitability scales in year 2, as snails reproduce and the cost per unit drops significantly. By the second cycle, with good management and minimal losses, ROI can exceed 100%, especially with added value, e.g., processing or export. Final thoughts. Why you should take snail farming seriously. Snail farming offers one of the most accessible, sustainable, and scalable agribusiness opportunities in Nigeria today. It requires low capital, minimal land, and has a short time to revenue. Best of all, it aligns with Nigeria's goals of economic diversification, rural employment, and food security. With proper training, planning, and access to markets, any SME can build a profitable snail farming enterprise, whether for local sales or global export. So why wait? The future of heliciculture in Nigeria is not just promising, it's quietly booming. Get in now, and you'll be part of an agricultural revolution that's as profitable as it is sustainable. If you would like to learn more or wish to discuss paid brand sponsorship of any of our agribusiness videos, please contact us on any of the social media handles below. Quote of the week. Time sometimes flies like a bird, sometimes crawls like a snail, but a man is happiest when he does not notice whether his passes swiftly or slowly. Pinterest.